I have got a fantastic yoga flow for you today. We're going to be getting in deep with the hips, so feel free to grab any props and things like that if you know your body better than I do. So if you know that you may have any kind of restrictions with the hips and things, go ahead, grab blankets, some strap, whatever you might need. Okay, so that could be a scarf or something like that. But we're going to start in our reclining position. So just to do a little bit of a resting assessment, see where we are today, and take note. So go ahead and come on over onto your back. As you lie down, what looks like basically a full shavasana or corpse pose, and just take the feet about to the corners of the mat, arms resting out to the side, palms up. And we'll take just a moment here just to bring the awareness inward and start to focus on the now and where we are and how the body feels. So first, I'd just like you to start by noticing how you're feeling in your neck and your upper body by turning your head side to side. Notice if you may have restrictions on one side more than the other, or if there's any pain or discomfort here. And come back to center. Then bring your awareness down through your shoulders and notice if just the top of your shoulders, if you feel like you're resting around the top edge of your shoulders or your shoulder blades, and if there's kind of a lift in the middle of your back or you feel as though there's a little bit of an arch there. Again, this is just about assessing, not judging. Follow that line down through the middle and lower back and notice the arch that may be present there, or if you feel like it's really lifting away from the floor, we do want a slight lift, but it may be kind of overarched or exaggerated. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. Start to let the upper body really settle in. Now take your awareness down into your hips, into your lowest back space. So that space across the back of the pelvis. And notice if you feel a little more balanced on the left or the right. And if you feel maybe more pressure towards your tail, or do you feel both of the masses of your glutes pressing down to the floor? And then follow that line a little further down to the creases between your glutes and the back of the legs. Feel the mass there. Notice if it's resting firm on the floor or if it's lifted. The space behind the knees, the calves, the ankles, and even the feet. Take a big deep breath in. Notice yourself expanding all the way to the outside and to the floor behind you, and then exhale it out slowly. With your next breath, start to draw the feet to the mat, the knees bending. As you bring the knees in toward the chest, one at a time, and they'll both hug in, take a little rock side to side. And then placing that left foot on the floor, and we'll take just the right knee in, starting to bring the knee over toward the right edge of the rib cage, circling the right ankle a few times, and then the other direction. From here, you can start to pull that right knee down a little bit further toward the outside edge of the rib cage, and then holding on maybe behind the knee to give you a little more space, and we'll kick the heel up. Try to keep the knee down close to you. We're just going to kick that heel up as much as you can over the knee here. Now you can stay here and just kind of wrap your forearm around behind the knee and hug it down low, or reach up if you can grab your ankle or maybe around the pinky toe side of your foot and really drive that knee down. So if you're driving that leg down by holding onto the foot, just be mindful that you're not rocking your body over to the side. So we're just going to stay here, leveling out the body, pulling down the knee, getting a nice opening here with half happy baby. And on the left leg, let the knee open out to the side, just increasing that little stretch there along the inner thighs and a little bit of counter so that you're not rocking over to the right. So we'll take a deep breath in, exhale it out, relax the shoulders, relax the face and the jaw. Notice if the jaw is clenching or if at any time you're kind of pushing your tongue up into the top of your mouth, and try to release that space. Deep breath. Now as you come back, bring that left knee back to where it started, foot on the floor. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left into little figure four, and then starting to float the left leg up. So as you reach your right hand through the triangle, and left hand goes around the back. If that's not really that accessible or easy to get to without rounding your shoulders and lifting your head, go ahead and grab something nearby, a strap, a blanket, anything that you have that you can hold, and thread that through instead. Okay, so you can hold on to that with your hands or interlace your hands here. Just try to relax those shoulders down, soften the elbows. We're going to keep that foot flexed that's on top, so right foot flexed, the bottom leg can stay lifted here, or you can just kind of let that fall a little bit. Just going to pull the legs in gently without using too much effort in your upper body. So take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Feel free to rock around a little, explore your time here. Try to drive your right knee away from you just a bit. Take one more breath, and now release that foot down. Good. So now taking the other side, we're going to bring the left knee in toward the chest. Drive it over toward the left outer edge and give it a little hold. Circle the ankle a few times one way and then the other. And then as you're ready, pulling that leg in, maybe holding on with your forearm. I think that gives me a lot more leverage. I like that option. And then kicking your heel up like you're going to stomp your foot on the ceiling. And then if you can take hold of your ankle and pull it down more, or maybe around the toe side, pinky toe side, and just hug it in toward the armpit. Once again, let this right knee fall out a little bit, just so that you've got a little more counter action here without rolling to the left. Taking 2 more rounds of breath. Try not to, we do have some energy happening in the upper body, but I don't want you to be holding on so tight that you feel like you're straining in this left shoulder. Okay, so then bring that left ankle across the right and then pause. Pick up the right foot. Once again, you can take a strap or a scarf or something there between that little triangle space, or just wrap your hands under there. Deep breath in, relax your shoulders down. Notice here, if your chin is lifting up, go ahead and place something behind your head even, or just kind of bring your chin back down to where it's level. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. One more breath. And then we'll release it. Take the foot back down and just rock those knees side to side a couple of times. As you come back, take the feet close together, and it's like about the distance you would for a bridge position. So arms down by your sides. Right now, we're going to keep the knees together, feet together, and then start to slowly lift the hips up, open the knees out, bring them in and lower down, little butterfly bridges. Inhale, lift. So we're adding a little more strength, and then we'll get back into that deeper stretch. Inhale, lift. Imagine that you're kind of dragging your knees together. There's a little more action on the adduction, the bringing back in, pushing out, in and down. One more. Inhale, up, out, in, and down. Very good. Just roll yourself over to one side, and we'll lift up, coming into a table position. So hands and knees here. Always feel free to cushion up the knees if that makes them feel better. Okay, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips, separated just about hip distance. Inhale, moving into a cow or cow-like position. Exhale, rounding up and hollowing out. Inhale. Bring it down. And just notice here that we're not compressing behind the neck, just keeping it nice and long. Rolling the shoulders back, fingers spread wide. Check out your elbows. I know there's so many things. Check out those elbows. You don't want to lock them out. So rather than just locking them out and seeing the creases turn forward here, soften the elbows and engage the muscles. One more cat-cow. And exhale. Now from here, keeping your hips stacked right over your knees, just walk the hands toward the top of the mat without shifting the hips. As you reach the hands forward, it looks about like you're in down dog in the upper body, so it's a little puppy here. Let the head fall, chest fall, shoulders kind of move away from your ears still. As though you could kind of rotate both of your biceps up toward the sky. Notice again, you don't want to overarch. We're not trying to get our chest to the floor. We're keeping the chest lifted a little bit. So you're pulling your ribs in, keeping your hips level. Take one more breath. Starting to float the head and the chest back up. Now shifting yourself forward. Keep your hands here. Let your elbows start to slightly bend. Rest your hips to the floor. And then send your hands out, right from where they are, out to the edges, off of the mat. Make like a little tent here with your hands. So just your fingertips to the floor. Tops of your legs are pressing down, tops of your feet pressing down, and your pubic bone pressing down. Keep the feet wide. We'll inhale, start to rock those shoulders back, and then slowly lift up into a little winged cobra. And bring yourself back down. Never going to the point of pain. Push down through your pubic bone. Inhale, making sure that you're not overarching in your back. Just come up to the level that feels good and right for you. And we'll take 2 more. Inhale, just feel like a little wave. Moving up, head comes up, and then head goes down last. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, bring it down. As you place your right arm across the top of your mat, resting your forehead here, we're going to bend the left knee. Just bring your heel towards your glute. Reach back with the left hand. So if that's not something that you can easily reach, go ahead and again take a t-shirt, a towel, or something that you can wrap around your foot and just hold it there. Okay. Inhale. I want you to push down through that crease space right here. If it's hollow, I want you to push into it. Okay. And then draw your heel towards your glute. Start to now push your foot into your hands until it straightens your arm out, and continue pushing back as far as you can, and your chest may start to float up. Just gaze forward and then bring it down. Completely relax through that quadricep as you pull your heel towards your glute. Inhale. Exhale. Press it out, using the glute to now push. Bring it back down. Inhale. Let's do 2 more little pumps here. Exhale, lift. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And bring it back down. Now, taking that to the other side, we'll release. You can even just kind of rock your hips around. Take a moment at center and do another resting assessment. Notice how you feel here. Close your eyes, rest your head. Notice how you feel from left to right. If there's a little more energy on one side than the other, maybe one side feels longer than the other, just take an assessment. Come back to center, bringing your left forearm across and resting your head here. Bring that right heel up and really press your hip down. Start to reach back or take hold with an arm lengthening device that we have nearby. Inhale, start to draw the heel in. Take a whole breath here. Now your next breath, inhale, exhale, press. Let it bring you up and then come back down. Inhale, exhale, press the foot into the hand. Let the leg do the work here. And bring it down. If it causes any discomfort or pain, just let go and just try to bring your leg in and out comfortably wherever you can. You could also do this side lying. So if you rested on the left side while you're doing the right side, then that sometimes is more accessible for people. So just pick whichever works best for you. Make it be your practice. Let's take that last one. Inhale and exhale up. And then bring it back down. Very good. One more time, release that leg. Shift your hips side to side and just rest here for a moment. Full breath in. Notice how you feel now, left and right. Is there a difference than when you first arrived? Let's go ahead. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing yourself up and then back into your table. As you take the left leg, bringing it up, take it up behind you and pull up through the core. We're going to take it back down. Inhale, exhale over to the side, opening up and bring it back down. Just a few rounds of these up into that extension and then over into that abduction, taking it away. Okay, so take it back, keep the core solid. If you feel like you need to come down on your elbows, that's okay. You can do that. Just make it work for you again. And take it back. Good, last one. We're gonna take it out. This time when you take it back, pause. Go ahead and make sure you've got weight in your left hand. Pull up through your core. Right arm reaches, take the left leg, straighten it out into that active bird dog. Now we're gonna reach back like you're gonna reach back towards your foot, but you don't have to quite reach it. Just see if you can tap it somewhere. And then come forward again. Take it back. And we're gonna take that one more time, just kind of finding out where we are in space. So that proprioception, knowing where you are in space. Hold it here. Whether you hold your foot or not, just reach toward it. Now, if you can grab hold of the foot, we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to press the foot to the sky. Now we're going to push the foot into the hand and lift the chest up into a little bound bird dog. Okay, take a breath and then release it down. Awesome work. Take a moment here. Walk the hands back. You're going to flip the fingers towards your knees so palms are still down. Place the wrists to the floor and then just rock forward and back a couple of times. There's a lot of work here on our hands. Okay. Flip them again. Palms are up, fingers are faced back, and just rock. We're going to take that to the other side. Walk it back out. Holding here, lift up through your core. That means the rib cage pulls in, your hips are level. Okay. Taking your right leg, lifting it up behind you, and then bringing it down. Take it out to the side, like a little fire hydrant lift. Now try not to lean too much into that left side. You want to keep a lot of weight in that right hand as you reach over to the right with your right knee and then up behind. A couple more times. Open, bring it down, up. Good. Take that last one. Lift it up, hold. Getting ready to balance, so you're on your right hand. Straighten out the right leg, left arm reaching forward, inhale. Bend the knee, reach back. See if you can tap somewhere back there. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, reach. Now as you reach back, whether you're holding the foot or not, you're just gonna lift everything up. So we could just do right there and hold it, or hold on with the bind and press into the hand. Lift the chest. Beautiful. Take another breath. And release it down. Very good. Set back. Reach the hands forward. Let's bend the elbows. Place the palms together. Bring it up over the back of the head. Bring the hands back down. We're going to take the hands forward for down dog. So reach far forward. Come up. Inhale. Turning toes under, lifting knees and pressing back. Starting to walk your hands back towards your feet, finding your way into a chair position. So feet we're going to keep parallel with a little space between them, about the size of 2 fists for now. Okay, so just staying there. Drop the hips down. Start to float the ribs and the chest off of the thighs. Reaching the arms wherever it's most comfortable. They can go straight ahead, over the head, or out to the sides even. Okay, find a spot here. Deep breath, and then bring yourself all the way up for a little balance work. Finding a space. If you need a chair or a wall, feel free to move off your mat. We're going to step the right foot into center, starting to move back down into a little small chair. Find your focal point. Picking up the left foot, crossing it over. So back into that same figure 4. You'll see this a few times today. Okay, find your figure 4. Have a seat in your chair. Hold it here. Deep breath in. One last breath. Find that focal point. Okay, come back up. And then we'll switch sides. So planting your left foot a little closer into center. We'll start to move back into a chair. Lift the right foot up and over. Ooh, see, mine started to wobble because it's Flossom. No problem there. We can all be Flossom. And just keep going. Deep breath. Exhale it out. Release. Step it down. And then start to fold forward again. Lift your hips. Come into a full forward bend for just a moment. Now bending the knees again. Walking yourself back out. Finding your table again. Once again, feel free to cushion the knees. We will be on them for just a little bit again. So here we go. Left knee goes back. Inhale. We bring knee to tricep. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Knee to tricep. We're just trying to bring it up as high as you can. Up toward that left armpit or up to the left shoulder even, if you can bring it up higher. And now we're going to pause when it comes up. Wherever it is, I want you to just try to drop your foot there. Okay? It's not up behind your hand. It's way back here. Okay, so now rolling, as you take your right hand, step it forward just a little and shift yourself forward and roll onto that right side. It looks like you're in side plank with a little kickstand. Bottom leg, if you prefer, you can straighten it completely out, okay, but you can stay here on the knee. Shoulder away from ear. We're going to drop the hip down. Feel that nice stretch all along the side here. Sweep the arm overhead, lift the hips. Now circle sweep that arm in front of you and just look down towards your foot. Bring it back up. Again, if you would like to take it up higher, you can straighten the leg, taking a little bit more challenge, but it's really up to you. Okay, so up, watching that bottom shoulder. So meaning I don't want that to scrunch up by your ear. Push into the floor even as you're lowering your hip down. So if you constantly are pushing the floor away, we're going to keep that action in the shoulder. Let's take one more. Bring it back up. And then exhale and bring it back down. Very good. Now bring yourself all the way around again, just like when you started. You can drop your right knee, send the left leg back. First option, bend the knee, flip it open. This is our little open hip, little table position, 3-leg table. Stay here and draw a few circles. Now, if this feels okay for you and you'd like to go into down dog, you could do the same thing. So 3-leg down dog, lift up, lift the knee, and then circle. So just pick whatever works for you. We're going to go from here into pigeon prep. So we're taking that left knee all the way up from table or down dog and sliding it up behind the left wrist. So feel free to drop that right knee to get there. Okay, so it's out to the side on the outside edge of the mat. Okay, turn the toes under, walking back. So if this is something that's not feeling just right for you, flip back over, go back to that reclining figure 4 from the very first part of this class. Okay, that's a reclining pigeon. Otherwise, we'll stay here, lowering yourself down as much as you feel comfortable. Feel free to grab those extra blankets or pillows that you might have around, and you can put that under your hip or even under your chest. Okay. So staying lifted as high as you like or lowering all the way down. You can even rest your head on hands or a prop. We're taking deep breath in, exhale it out. Notice again, are you clenching your jaw? Is your tongue stuck to the roof of your mouth? Are your shoulders climbing up by your ears? Try to relax that upper body space. Take your awareness into your hip. If you're finding that while you're breathing, you notice that there's a clenching in the space that you're trying to stretch, take your exhale there and let it go. There you go. All right, we're coming back up. Now we're going to lean over. If you're reclining, just simply press yourself up into seated. And if you're here, we're going to lean over into the left side. I want you to bring your right leg around so you can help it with your right hand. You're coming into seated cross-leg position, right leg in front. So this is your first option here. Second option is fire log. So that means our shins are stacked one on top of the other. And it's a little more even with the knees, feet with knees, rather than to the creases of your hips. Okay, so meaning not way back here. Okay, so we're here, or just simple cross-legged position. You've got a little triangle here. Okay. Get tall, inhale. Coming forward, exhale. Might not be very far, and that top knee might be way up here. That's okay, and you can always go to cross leg. All right, so go to where you can. You can always elevate your sit bones or take something in front of you to rest on. Let's take 3 more breaths. See if you can make that HA like sound, like you're just releasing anything that you're holding on to right now. Let it go. like a fire-breathing warrior dragon. You're getting it all out. Let's take that last breath together. Come back up. Walk your hands back. Lean back, unwind. And then taking the feet to the mat. And we'll do a little knee sway or windshield wiper from seated, which also give us a great little stretch or massage right up there on the outer part of your hips if you rock it around far enough. So next option, we're going into reverse table. Now, if that's something that doesn't work for your wrist or your shoulders, just go into a bridge position. So just a basic bridge lift will be perfectly fine. Okay, so feet are separated. Hands are somewhat wide. We're going to rock the shoulders back, put a little bend in the elbows, making sure we don't lock. Okay, I like the fingers turned out. You can go in or out. Drawing tail slightly under, lifting up, and move into that table. Watch your head. Make sure it's not going all the way back. Look where the wall meets the ceiling if you're in a room. And then bring it back down. Try not to lock those elbows out. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale, lift. And bring it back down. We're going to flip over, so just find your way into your tabletop again. I'm going to turn just for convenience of being able to see. All right, so here we go. Right leg goes back. Inhale. Right knee comes up and toward the tricep. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. 2 more. Find your breath. Now you're going to hold it here. Just drop that foot. Turn the toes out. Send your left hand slightly ahead. Shift forward. There you go. Rock over to the side. Now I'm turning all the way onto the side of that bottom knee as well. Or your last option again is to straighten the leg. Totally your choice. If you got shaking happening in your upper body, I would keep the knee down. All right, so lift the hips, reach, and then drop the hips and reach down. Inhale. So if we have shaking happening in most parts of the body, obviously it's just a connection issue, right? Neuro connections. But we're trying to build more strength in those areas, but the shoulder's a really unstable joint. So if you're finding a lot of shaking happening when you're on your bearing weight with your shoulder, I want you to be very mindful of that. Okay, so just go to the level that you need to go to today. It may not be where you work all the time. Give yourself that space and that grace. Here we go. Back up, and then bring yourself down and all the way back to where you started. And we go back into that little tabletop position first. Okay, remember you can stay here or you can go into 3-leg dog instead. Okay. You can always come back to that table before you go into pigeon. And now reverse. Flip it open as far as you can. Try to keep your shoulders pretty square here. Let's bring that knee up behind the right wrist. So drop the left knee if that's more accessible for you. And slide it up there. Your right heel lands underneath you. Now walk back or prop something underneath you. Here in the pigeon position, we're not going to rock onto that hip though. Okay, we're going to try to stay centered. So be mindful of that as well. Come forward. Go to the level that you can. Rest. You could have pillows under you. You could have blocks or books or props, anything here. Deep breath in, relax the face, the muscles in the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. Feel as though your left hip is moving up toward your right heel underneath you. They might even be touching. Taking in last full breath. You could always come back to this type of position and hold it longer for more results. Okay, but always feel free to stay as long as you like. And then come back up. We're going to rock over onto that right outer edge of the hip. Swing your left leg around. Pausing. Again, cross leg, complete cross leg position. Or bring the left leg on top, finding that fire log pose. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, come forward. So if you also find that when you put your ankle on top of the leg and if it doesn't go all the way off to the side, which is another variation, if it doesn't do that, you could cushion it here. So feel free to put something under that bone. It can be a little uncomfortable. Come forward.
to whatever level that feels right for you. Remember, this is your yoga. It's your body, right? I'm not walking around in it, so don't feel like you have to do everything exactly the way I do it. I'm just giving you the cues, the information, and you get to interpret that. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Let's take that big breath in together. Exhale like a sigh. Let it out. Get your fire breathing warrior dragon ready. And let it go. When we come back up, ready for another round of those reverse tables, but send it back first, unwind. Here we go. We're going to rock it side to side. Getting ready here. Let's move first into our basic table or reclining bridge position. So lifting up and bring it down. Next variation, you can continue with both feet flat on the floor or straighten out your right leg. A little half reverse plank. Dig into that right heel. Bring it down. Switch sides. Left leg, inhale. Lift. We're going to do 2 more. So make your decision. Both feet on the floor, one leg straight or both legs straight. You can alternate. Okay, so here we go. Lift. And then bring it down. 1 more, inhale. Draw the tail under, shoulders back, elbows soft. Lift. And bring it down, very good. As you're all the way down, go ahead and bring yourself reclining back. I'm just gonna flip back again, this other direction. So we're coming all the way down on the mat. Let's bring knees into chest, rocking side to side. Take the arms out and then just rock your knees all the way over to the left. Give a little pause. Ooh, feels good. Hang out there, let those legs just drop to the floor. You want a little extra, straighten out the top leg. Circle the ankle a couple times. Bend the knee, bring it back, switch to the other side. Send the left leg out if you like it, if you want to. Okay, give it a little spin with the ankle. Come back. Take a pause here. Let's finish it off kind of back where we started. This time, both knees pulling to the sides of your rib cage. You can hold on with your forearms behind the legs or reach up around those pinky toes. Let's find the full happy baby. So you're pressing your low back into the mat, as though you're trying to put your tail down to the floor. The shoulders pulled back and down, relax. Find a little rock. Come back to center. Drop the feet. Slide them down the mat. Go back to where you started. Heels to the corners, arms out. Find your resting assessment here for a moment. Checking back in, eyes closed. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out. Notice how you feel through your face. The jaw, is the tongue against the teeth? And if so, let it drop. Turn the head side to side. Notice how your neck feels. Do you find more range of motion or does it feel about the same? Back to center. The center of the head pressing to the mat. Notice your shoulders, just kind of wiggle them down. Do you feel more or less pressure at the top of your shoulders than you did before? At the edges of your shoulder blades and towards your middle back, the floating ribs? Is there the same amount of curve in your low back? Did it move a little lower even? So sometimes that low back curve, you may feel it a little bit higher in the space that's just above your sacrum. That's perfect. Maybe you have more contact with the floor with your spine. Notice the hips. Relax the legs. Feel the masses of your glutes, the back of your legs, your calves, your heels. Take a moment. Let your breath move in and out. Deep breath in awakens your nervous system, wiggling your fingers, your toes, your eyes slightly opening, just a little gaze. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat. Let's gently rock over to one side. As you rest to that side for just a moment, take a breath in. Let go of anything you don't need and bring your best intentions with you for the rest of your day as you come to seated and as we meet back here in this seated position. Let's take a big sweep up overhead. Take a moment just pausing, reaching over to one side and then up and over to the other side. Bring the hands down through center, resting right at the heart. Take a moment, bow. So if that feels good and right for you, just take that moment to honor your own wisdom, your own voice, and give yourself a moment of gratitude because you got here today and you did something good for you.